fantastic Sunday. As for me, I had a great day, okay? Because I'm still living and breathing. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm not going to keep y'all on here long, and I know I'm late, real late, but I have a daughter who's special needs, and sometimes I get the chance to jump on here when I want to, and sometimes I don't. So today was one of those situations. I truly apologize, but I'm here now. And I know some of y'all may be asleep. I hope some of y'all can join me because this is a very deep conversation that we can right have. And I would like for as many people to listen to this as possible. But I'm a firm believer that it will reach the people that it should reach. Okay? That's how God move. He make people listen to stuff that they need to listen to. And this video may pop up right in your right one day when you need to hear it. It'll just pop up, you know. But like, share, and subscribe. Make sure your notification bell says all so that when I go live, you'll get notified. Okay? Listen, I titled this, "We Have Reduced Him to the Lowest." Now, when I say that, I know some of y'all probably say, what is she talking about? I'm talking about the Creator. Y'all call him Jesus, God, Yeshua, right? That's who I'm talking about. We have reduced him to the lowest. And what I mean by that is that we have put God, instead of God being before everything where he should be, we have put him at the lowest so that we can do what we want to do. God should be before everything. It's in your Bible. And see, that's the thing too. Some of us don't read it. Okay? I read it. I don't read it like I should, but I read it. I'm having an issue with it, but I have to work that out. Me and my creator have to work that out. But I do read it. And we have reduced him to the lowest. And when I say that, what I mean is that the creator should be put before everything. Hello. How y'all doing? How is that Roll V? Hello. Thank you for tapping in with me. I appreciate it. Y'all come on in. You don't have to be scared. I'm not rude. I don't cuss people out or none of that. So you don't have to be scared to come in the chat over here. Come in and be comfortable. Okay? Sometimes we have conversations. I have conversations that may ruffle a little feathers, but it's honesty and it's truth. And over here, we have to be able to accept the truth. That's all I ask. You have to be able to accept the truth. And tonight, one of the conversations that I'm having is going to be based, you got to accept the truth. Okay? We all sin, but we have reduced the Most High to its lowest level. And what I mean by that is that some of us put God and started putting God where he's supposed to be, and he's supposed to be in front of everything in your life. But yet some of us has put him to the lowest level because some of us want to do what we want to do. And that's just not how it works. You don't twist the scriptures and you don't make the scriptures what you want it to be so that you can do the worldly things that you want to do. That's not how it works. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. And this is something that I want to talk about. This is something that's been on my heart for a while, right? And I've been praying about it and I've been, when is the right time? When is the right time? Because let me tell you something. I never want to come on here and feel like I'm ruffling somebody's feathers. But one thing I do know is that you can't please everybody. You can't please everybody. Everybody not going to like you. And I'm okay with that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm okay with that. Long as I like me. Long as I love me, that's what matters. It's how you feel about yourself. I ain't worried about what everybody else, how everybody else feel. As long as I'm speaking truth and I'm not up here blowing smoke up your butt, hey, I'm going forward. I'm going forward with it. And so that is not something that we supposed to do, you know. And some people, of course, don't want to hear it. Let me tell you something. This video, I don't care if I got one person on here. I don't care if there's nobody on here. One thing I do believe is that God will put it in front of the right people. Okay? He will put it in front of the right people. Because, see, some people don't want to hear the truth. They want to keep living the life that they live in. And they thinking that they going one place, but they're going to end up going somewhere else. Okay? And so I'm okay with that. If you like it, I love it. You understand? But it ain't going to stop me from speaking truth. Hey, TK, how you doing? Thank you for tapping in. He said, so true. Yes, yes. And I want to talk about this. It's been something that's on my heart, and I want to share it with y'all. You know, just to give you something to think about. I'm not picking on nobody, but I'm giving you something to think about. And I'm not just talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself too. I ain't sitting up here trying to play like I'm no saint. Okay? I'm talking to myself too. But it's something that needs to be said that some people don't want to say. And so we have to stop doing that. We have to stop putting God at the lowest so that it can make us comfortable. That's not how that works. That's not how that works, y'all. God is supposed to be in front of everything that you do. He really do. He's supposed to be in front of everything that you do because you're supposed to have a personal relationship with him. And what's done happen is that the pastors are becoming some of our gods. Let me repeat that. The pastors, some of these pastors are becoming some of our gods. Okay? And they not telling you the truth. They telling you what they think you want to hear to make you comfortable with where you at. When you start walking righteously, okay, you can't keep running out there sinning and then coming back saying, God, forgive me. And then the next day you out there sinning and then you running back saying, Lord, please forgive me. That's not how that works. And that's what some people think. Some people think there's no repercussions when you're out there doing the worldly things. But you say you walking with God. There's repercussions behind what we do. But he tries to give us a chance to get our life right. But there is repercussions from you straddling the fence, as they call it. You on one side saying you walking with God, but then you on the other side saying, you know, you're doing all kinds of things that the world is doing. And when you're walking righteously, you don't do everything that the world is doing. You do what God's word wants you to do. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Some of us are walking straight to hell in a handbasket, but we think we're not. All because some of your pastors are making you very comfortable. As long as you giving them your money, they making you very comfortable. They saying what you want to hear. From Channel 5 News, looking like this streamer can't operate a camera. What? Well, that might be what you think, and that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. But do y'all understand what I'm saying? Hello. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but hello. Iconic. Did I say it right? Nothing happened, baby. We just having a conversation. I'm just having a conversation. And that's true. You do supposed to give your problems to God. You're right. But you also supposed to live your life right too. You also we supposed to have live our life right when we're walking with God. You understand what I'm saying? But some of us have we go to these churches and the pastor is saying all this and that, but they really not telling you the scriptures and what they mean and stuff like that. You understand? And it's got some of us lost, and it's got some of us feeling like we all right, we good when we're not. We're not good. There are principles that we supposed to live by that God made for us to live by. The indigenous people. Do you ever look in the mirror and think about how God feel about you? Do you ever look in the mirror and just, just think how God feel about you, that he made you the indigenous people? That speaks volume. That speaks a lot of volume. But for some, we have put God so low that some things don't really mean nothing to us. It's like God doesn't have the value that he deserves. And some of us are just going on with our life. But I'm going to tell you something. That's why some of our lives is so chaotic. And it seems like we can't get ahead. That's because we don't put God where he should be. That's why. That's why some of our lives are the way they are. Because we don't put God where he's supposed to be. When things happen and you walking with God and you having you have a personal relationship with him, when bad things happen, do you know that it won't hit you? God can create something. Say a tornado happens, right? And you in the midst of that tornado. Do you know a lot of houses and stuff could get hit and yours could be right there in the mix of it all and not one thing get touched? These are the type of things that happen when you walking with God and you walking with him righteously. But I don't think some of us think about that anymore. I look at so many people who have lost their way. And I look at so many people, they talk about God, but the way they moving and the things that they doing says otherwise. And it's a lot of that going on. And I'm just talking about this, bringing awareness. I'm not pointing fingers at nobody and I'm not judging. I'm speaking on this because I'm bringing awareness. Because maybe somebody don't know that they doing something wrong. Maybe they go to church every Sunday. Maybe they go to Bible school every Wednesday. And maybe they think they doing the right thing. That's enough. Because some of these churches and the pastors make you think that that's enough. As long as you giving up your money and you come in there on Sunday and you come to Bible school on Wednesday, they feel like that's enough. That's not enough. Build you a personal relationship with God, because what will happen, God will start to lead you. And you will stop letting the pastor lead you, and God will start to lead you. Because I think that's what's been happened, in certain situations, that we have put the pastors where God should be. I think that's what's been happened, in a lot of situations. And you never supposed to put anybody before God. That's definitely a no-no. But that's what's going on. And God just doesn't get the respect that he deserves. He don't get that respect no more. Let me tell you something. When I found out who God was and the whole thing that come with it, I'm like, wow. Wow. It like broke my heart. It really did. It broke my heart because I wasn't living my life right. And then one day I was in here reading the Bible, and I read in the Bible my whole story that I had been through in my life. I was like, wait a minute. No joke. I was in here just reading through the Bible. I don't even know how I got there, y'all. I can't even tell y'all how I got there and what part of the Bible I was in. But I started reading, and it was like I was reading my whole story in the Bible. And I was stunned. I was like, what? For those that don't know, I'm a recovering addict. My whole story, I'm talking about my addiction and stuff, was in the Bible. I ran in there and told my daughter, I said, I can't believe this. I'm standing here reading. I said, I'm reading my whole story in the Bible. The thing that I went through with my addiction and stuff, it was in the Bible. I was like, what? And then as I started digging, addiction is in the Bible. What else was in there? Depression, anxiety. Uh, I'm trying to think, y'all. It was some more stuff in there though that we go through every day in our everyday life was in the Bible. Look for yourself. You ain't got to believe me. Do your own research. But it's in there. I'm telling you, it just blew my mind. I said, really? So that let me know something. That's when I recognized that we are here for an experience. Each one of us are here for an experience. Because I used to look at my life and I used to say, if I could go back, I would change this, that, the other, right? But fast forward to the day when I read that, it just changed my mindset. I don't regret nothing I went through. We all here to go through an experience, right? And I feel like God gave each one of us the experience because he felt like we could do it. Now, this is just how I feel. Everybody might not feel like that, but this is how I feel. I feel like he gave each one of us the experience that he wanted us to have. And, you know, we supposed to carry that out. So now when I look at my life, I wouldn't change nothing because I wouldn't be who I am today if I hadn't went through the things that I went through. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad about the things I went through. You know, I look at the whole thing different. It just when you start building that personal relationship with God, so many things are going to come to you in a different way. No, I'm not a person who reads the Bible all the time, but my faith is strong. My discernment is strong, very strong, because I do have a personal relationship with God. Okay? I have issues with the Bible, but God gonna work that out with me. He's gonna work that out with me. I ain't even worried about it. Because he gonna work that out. The Bible, I understand the Bible, but some of the things I don't connect with. I'm not connecting for some reason. I'm not. I'm not connecting with some reason. I'm not ashamed of it. Some of the things in the Bible I'm not connecting with. I don't know why, but I'm not. But like I said, I do have a personal relationship with God, and He will work that out with me. He'll work that out with me because when they, when I was introduced to the Bible, and I said, who wrote? I went to see who wrote it. It said King James. So me being me, I wanted to know who King James was. I wanted to know who King James was. Y'all do y'all research on that. And then so now I'm in limbo now because I'm like, is this why I don't connect with the Bible? Is this why I'm not connecting with some of the things in the Bible? But I do know that God can take anybody and use them for what he needs to use them for too. You understand? But I don't know. It's just something about some of the stuff in the Bible I'm just not connecting with. And I've prayed on it. I've talked to God about it. And like I said, he's going to deal with me with that. I truly believe that. He's going to work that out with me. But it doesn't stop me from believing in the Most High, though. It doesn't stop because I've had too many experiences and I know that there's a creator greater than us. I know that for a fact. So it's not going to stop me believing in him. It's just that let me explain it like this. Say for instance, I was a person who owned slaves at some time or another, right? And then I wrote a book. I wrote the Bible, right? And then when y'all looked me up and found out who I was, how would y'all feel? I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. How would y'all feel if that happened, to one of y'all? You understand? So that's why I'm some of the stuff in there I'm not connecting with for some reason. But like I said, I'll work that out. It'll get worked out. And I'm gonna come back and share with y'all too. When it get worked out, I'm definitely gonna come back and share with y'all. But back to what I was saying, you know, we have to get our steps together, y'all. We gotta get it together. We gotta start putting God where he belongs. And we gotta stop being disrespectful to the one and only who made us the chosen children. Think about that. That's deep. When you look at it like that, man, oh man, that's deep right there, all by itself. That little bit, all by itself. It's really, really deep. It really is. And like I say, certain things you should want to try to get your life right when it comes to the Creator. You should. You should want to get your life right and try to put your life together as best as you can and continue to push forward, trying to be the best version of yourself. See, some of us got to get out of these worldly things. We got to. The world is going to send you somewhere you don't want to go. I'm telling you. You got to get out of these worldly things because it's not going to do anything for you. And you got to learn how to walk with faith. And I think that's something that some people, kind of, I guess, kind of get nervous about or kind of run from is because you're believing in something that you don't see. But God is a frequency, okay? And if you connect with it, you're going to see what I'm talking about. When I connect with God on my personal time, I get this feeling that I cannot explain it. I can't tell you what it feels like, but I know that I'm connecting with a higher frequency than myself. And I used to connect with it in my younger days, but I didn't understand it. I didn't understand what was going on. And I went to my mother one day and I said, Ma, I said, I be feeling stuff and you know, I be seeing stuff. I be feeling stuff that's happening, but I don't know who it's happening to, but I be feeling it, right? Like I feel other people's energy, but I didn't know where it was coming from. And I just didn't understand it. And my mother said, if I told you, you still wouldn't understand. That's what she said to me. She said, if I told you, you still wouldn't understand. She said, you just gotta let it play out, Lisa. She said, you gotta stay close to God and you gotta let it play out. And you're gonna understand it one day. Because my mom used to do that. She used to know when something was going on or something wasn't right. And nothing had done happened, but she would feel it before it happened. One day we was downstairs in our old house, and a shadow ran down our wall. And me and my mom was in there sitting at the table talking. That it was a little shadow that ran down the wall and it hit the floor. And I looked up, and when I looked up, my mother was looking at me because I was sitting there. I wasn't gonna say nothing at first, but I was trying to figure out, did she see that? Because I did. And so she was looking at me, and then I happened to look up, and I said, "Did you see that?" She said, "Yeah, you seen it?" I said, "Ma, what did you see?" She said, "Tell me what you seen." I said, "A shadow ran down the wall and hit the floor." She said, "Yeah." And like you could hear it, like we seen it run down the floor and then it just hit the floor. It was like boom, and then you ain't see nothing. And so my mother said, "Oh my goodness." She said, something is happening. She said, "Somewhere something is happening." I said, "What you mean, Ma?" She said, "Something is happening somewhere." She said, "I don't know where." She said, "I'll just wait." And she had me anxious. I was in there anxious and she was anxious. How come that same day the phone rung? My mother's sister had passed away. Her sister passed away. No joke. Her sister passed away. I was like, wow. I was like, Mom, how did you know that? And she was like, she said, Lisa, we'll talk about it one day. And so later on, she came to me and she said, these things have been going on in her life. And I know she's not lying because she knew when I was pregnant before I knew I was pregnant. With each one of my children, my mother knew I was pregnant before I even knew I was pregnant. I was like, wow. And then one time she told me I was pregnant. I didn't even know I was pregnant. And I ended up having a miscarriage. And I said, Mom, how did you know I was pregnant? She said, Lisa, I just knew it. And I ended up having a miscarriage. And she told me I was pregnant. And I kept telling her, I'm not pregnant. And she said, you sure about that? And I ended up having a miscarriage. Like, oh my goodness. I could just go on with the stories, right? But I'm telling you, God is a frequency. And if you tap into it, we all have power. And I know y'all gonna think I'm tripping. Well, I'm conspiracy theory, and that's okay. You entitled to your opinion. But what I'm telling you is that we all have power. We just have to tap into it. But we all have it. We all have it. Look who created us. Why wouldn't we have power? Look who created us. It's in our DNA. But I'm just saying, we got to get back to giving the creator his respect. Like, seriously, we really got to get back to that because that's why a lot of us our lives are in chaos and confusion because we have really put the creator at the lowest level. And some of us don't respect them at all. And I'm telling you, if you don't get it together, your life just not gonna never be right. It's not. It's never going to be right if you don't learn how to, first of all, have a personal relationship with them and learn how to be obedient and respect them. Because I listen to some people sometimes and they use that, you know, God, they use that word so loosely. Oh, they use it so loosely. Mm-mm-mm. I'd be like, wow, wow, wow. I just don't say nothing. But so many people just use it so loosely, you know? And I think it's so disrespectful. If you're not ready to change your life, that's fine. But I just feel like people need to stop using God for their foolishness. And that's just my opinion. I think some people, too many of us, use God for foolishness. And it's not good. And it's not respect. You're not respecting them. Like, come on. Man, he done gave us so much love. And we just done dropped him to the lowest level. And it just, man, I just hope we all get it together. I really do. I really do. I hope that we all get it together and we all grab hold of him because you're going to need them. You're going to need them. All this crazy stuff that's going on in the world, when you have peace with God, guess what? You don't go through all that anxiety and all that stuff because of what they doing, like the SNAP benefits and stuff like that. I seen so many people zapping out. But when you grab hold of God and you build a personal relationship with him, I'm telling you, those things do not bother you like that. Those things will not bother you like that. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You just gotta put God before everything. And you're gonna see your life change. I'm here to tell you, I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about, y'all. I was a heroin addict. I was a heroin addict. It's been 20 years. When I went in treatment, I knew that was my last time I was going to use. I knew it was my last time I was going to use. I claimed it. I claimed it. I could feel it. I knew that was it for me. It was a feeling I had in me. It was a feeling that I had inside of me. And I knew when I got up and went to that treatment place, I knew I wasn't going to look back anymore. And I haven't looked back. All I've been doing is trying to get closer and closer to God and connect with him on a personal level. I'm telling you. Like I just shared with y'all, I'm not no Bible reader, but I believe. I believe. I have faith. Because some things that happened in my life that I know, hey, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was a power greater than me. So I just wanted to talk about that because it's that's been wearing on my heart for a while, and I just wanted to touch on it a little bit, and let y'all know that stop running behind the pastor and grab hold to the Creator. I'm not saying you can't go to church and do your thing, whatever you like to do, but what I am saying is make sure that you got a personal relationship with God. Because I think some of us do. I think some of us do get caught up with the pastors and we end up putting pastor in the place of God. And that's a no-no. That's a no-no. You can't do that. You cannot do that. That's why it's always important for you to have a personal relationship with him. Because he'll guide you. He will guide you. I'm telling you. He will guide you. Some people, when some people hear people talk like this, they be like, I don't know. She probably tripping. I don't have no reason to come on here. I don't have to share this with y'all. You understand what I'm saying? This is my personal stuff. I don't have to share it with y'all. I choose to share it with y'all. I don't have to come on here and make nothing up and just keep it to myself. But I want y'all to know that God is a frequency. And when you embrace him, he will embrace you. God embraces us when we don't embrace him, but we just don't be tapped in. We don't be paying attention. But when you start paying attention and you start tapping into him, you're going to start to notice some things. I'm telling you, you're going to start to feel him. You're going to start to hear him. Because the feeling of the creator is a feeling that I still haven't heard anybody, be able to explain that feeling that you get when you feel it. I still haven't heard nobody be able to explain that. Because it's a feeling, it feels so good, and you just can't explain it. You just have to experience it. It's one of those things you have to experience, you can't explain how it feel. You just have to experience that feeling. You gotta just feel it one day. I'm telling you. It's a beautiful thing. Hey, listen, y'all. I don't know if y'all ever ran across it. It's a video on here of the twin. What's their name? From what's that show they used to be on? The two twins. They grew up on TV. Sister. One of them is giving her, she's telling about what happened with her when she had an encounter with God. It was deep. It was deep. I'm telling you, it was deep. And she wasn't being phony either. I felt the energy from that. I know it sounds weird, but I felt the energy from that video. She was not lying. She had an encounter with God. It's still on the internet. I guarantee you it's still on the internet. Go look it up. It's one of the twins from Sister. And she's talking about the encounter she had with God. She was crying and everything. She couldn't even explain what she felt, that feeling she had. She couldn't explain it, but it had her crying. She was crying, and she knew it was God. She knew it was God. And it had her crying and everything. I felt that. I was crying right along with her. I ain't gonna lie to you, because I felt the energy from that video. I felt the energy from it. And I understood what she was feeling. She felt God, but she couldn't explain the feeling, because it's a feeling that you cannot explain. You have to experience it. I'm telling you. It's deep, y'all. This thing is deep. This thing is deep. But build your relationship, build your personal relationship with God. I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. And your life will change. Your life will change. All you gotta do is get to yourself somewhere and, on your bed, down on your knees, sit on the floor, wherever. I talk to God wherever. And call out his name. He always listening. A lot of time, he be waiting on you. He be waiting on you to open up to him. But he always there. He always there. I'm telling you. Well, I ain't gonna take y'all to church, but I'm telling you some real stuff. Listen, it's an amazing thing. And if you're somebody that's really going through some things, and your life is in chaos and turmoil, turn to God. Drop to your knees and turn to God. Throw your hands up in the air and tell him. Talk to him. Talk to him. Call his name and talk to him. Cry to him. He already know what's going on with you. He just waiting for you to call on him. He waiting on you to call on him. He see your life. He see what your life is what you going through in your life. He see it. He already know it. But he waits. Sometimes God just sit back and just wait. He know when to step in. All you got to do is break down and call on his name. And I'm telling you, he gonna show up. Because he already standing there looking at you. And he see what you going through. I don't know who I'm talking to, but he see what you going through. He see it. God love us. God love us so much. He know how much hair, how many strings of hair we got on our head. Did y'all know that? That's how much he love us. He know how many strings of hair we got on our head. That's how much he love us. Y'all better wake up. Wake up. Don't end up leading your life to hell in a handbasket. Y'all better wake up and recognize your life. You ain't got to be struggling. You ain't got to be struggling. You ain't got to be worrying about no job and stuff. Man, I could give you some stories. You hear me? All you got to do is believe and let God in your life. Let God lead your life. That's all you got to do. You won't be struggling. You won't be worried about no bills. I'm a witness. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I ain't telling you nothing that I don't know. I wish I could save the world. You know that? I wish I could go around and save the world. Because it's a beautiful thing when you find that peace. When you get that peace within yourself, it is a beautiful thing. I don't worry. I pray and I talk to God. I don't worry no more. Because God done took me through so many things that I don't worry. I don't have to worry. I got a daughter who's done had 2 open heart surgeries. She only 16. She's Down syndrome. She done had 2 open heart surgeries. You know what I did? The day she got ready to go, we prayed, and then we sat out there and we waited till they was finished. And I had already thanked God. I was already thanking him. Because I knew my baby was gonna be all right. I wasn't sitting out there, worried and stuff and chewing my nails and stuff like that. I was all right. I had thanked him. I had already thanked him because I knew my baby was gonna be all right. They said my baby wasn't gonna live past 5. When they told me that, you know what I told them? You are the doctor of the world. You don't know the doctor that I know. That's what y'all saying. But the doctor I know, she gonna be all right. My daughter is 16. She is 16. And they say she wasn't gonna make it past 5. Stop playing with me. But it's faith. It's your faith. You gotta build your faith up. Build your faith up. He say all you gotta have is a mustard seed of faith. Hey, I'm getting off here, y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all for real. And I didn't come on here I'm not judging. And I hope I didn't come off like that. I'm not judging or talking down on nobody or nothing like that. But I just needed to say that. We gotta get that respect that we used to have for God. Listen, because it's a lot of us do, we put God at the lowest, and God should be at the highest. Everything you do, God should be first. God should be first. And we done lost that. And we use his name and stuff so loosely. He don't look at us like that. He don't look at us like that. God love us. He love us so much. Hey, he gave up his only son for us, for our sins. And he know exactly how much hair you got on your head. He love us. He love us. Even if you're not a Bible reader, talk to God. Get a personal relationship with him. I talk to God. I know he probably tired of me. I know he tired of me because I talk to him all the time. I be in here cleaning up, talking to him. I be washing the dishes. I be talking to him. I know he be like, ooh, she wear my ears. But I do. I do. I done got so used to talking to him. I just talk to him. It just come natural. But build a relationship with him. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I was looking at the people that was, spazzing out from the about the food stamps and stuff. And I felt some type of way. I really did. And I was telling my daughter, I say, if I could get some stuff together, you know, I'm gonna see who I can help out, who really need the help, and I just help some people out. Because I don't have, I'm like that. I'll give my last. If a person need it and I got it, I'll just give it to them. Because I get blessings. I'm always getting blessings. And so, yeah, if somebody need it, yeah. My kids, you say, "Man, you just gave them your, is that all you had?" I say, "Yeah." Well, they needed it. Man, that was all you had. I say, "Well, they needed it." And then my son will turn around and give me a few dollars. I said, "Well, thank you." I said, "Well, see, I ain't broke now." And like I told my kids, I'm never broke. I always got money. That's what I tell them. I used to say, I'm broke. I don't say that no more because I feel like you speaking it into your life when you keep saying that. So I always got money. I tell my kids, I always got money. And I do. I'm always rich. I'm rich in spirit. Huh? I got a rich spirit. Come on now. I got a lot of things about me that's rich. My personality, the way I treat people, you know? And look, when I wake up, hey, that's something right there that keeps my frequency so high is when I wake up. Because that means I got another chance. I got another chance. That's a blessing all in itself. Because let's be clear about something. Somewhere, somebody didn't wake up. Everybody don't wake up in the morning. You understand? Everybody don't wake up in the morning. My brother, he passed away like that. Yep, in his sleep. And he didn't wake up. So it happens. It happens. Let's not take life so, listen, I'm not saying take life so serious, but let's not take life so lightly either. You know? I love y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in with me. I ain't mean to stay on here this long, but I just had some things that I wanted to share with y'all, because I want y'all to become aware, you know? I want y'all to be aware of some things. And so I wanted to share that with y'all. I love y'all. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like what we talk about over here, please subscribe. Make sure your bell says all so that when I go live, you'll get notified. Okay? And I need some watch time, y'all. So can y'all watch, you know, my videos for me? Or sometimes if you busy doing something, say you doing your hair or something, put on one of my videos and let it run so I can get some more watch time. But I appreciate it. And I will holler at y'all on the next one.